In this video, I'm going to be covering a long anticipated feature, grouping or advanced groups. A little bit of context, historically with our app, you can add headings and line items. And you can see those are right here, add blank line item, add heading, or I can add a line item from the library. Though they're connected visually, you've got a separation here, there's no programmatic connection with headings and line items. With the new feature, item groups, it enhances what you can do with line items and headings. And just a teaser, eventually headings as they are will actually go away. Everything will be groups, and depending on your plan, you'll have different features that come with groups. Okay, so what is a group? I'm going to go ahead and click here and add one, and I'll just say test group. I'm not going to look at any of the options just yet. I'll just save this. And you can see I've got test group, kind of looks like the normal heading I'm used to, but I can add stuff inside of it. You can know this is a group because it has this little icon here. There's also a price total, which is a new feature, something that you're not used to seeing on a traditional heading. I can add something here. We'll add a blog. Turn that on, and you can see right away it's totaling up the prices, which is a nice feature. And let's add another one. I'll do a competitive analysis. And you can see now it's including both prices. Okay, so before I get into the settings, let me show you a few things just from here. The first thing is I can actually duplicate this entire group. So I'll click on this. You see it puts it down here. And I can now adjust this. Maybe I've got a similar set of line items that I just want to tweak. Go ahead and delete this. I can also move everything together. Previously, if I wanted to move base pages and all these things above planning, I'd have to move each one individually. I can now, in one quick swoop, just do it just like that, and they're all moved together. Okay, let's go over the individual settings on this feature. So the first thing I'll note is you can still add a heading, and that heading is always exposed, okay, just like traditional headings. All right, then the next thing, I can make this group optional. So I'm going to click on this, and you can see that now everything is disabled, and I can turn the entire group on and off. And the price is being adjusted as I toggle it. So maybe you have a phase 1, phase 2 project where phase 2 is completely tentative. That's one of the new features. All right, I'll turn that off. And now let's go down to the single select option. So if I see here, I have a selection type. By default, it's multiple. I'm going to change this to single. And if I save it, you'll note that this turns from a checkbox to a radio box. Now, this is not tagged as optional, and I need to do that. So I'm going to turn this one into optional. And you can see now inside of this group, I can only select one option. Okay, so that's the single select option. I'll note there's also a single loose feature, and this is, I'll go ahead and just show you what this looks like. It's just like the single select, but you can also deselect and select nothing if you're wondering what that particular feature is for. Okay, I'll turn this back to multi. You'll see they're both checked, but unchecked by default since we switched it back. And then the next thing is cost display. So maybe I want to show both prices. That's the default. I want to show prices for individual line items, and I want to show it for the group. There's two other options. I can hide the group cost, and now it looks more like the traditional headings I'm used to and line items where it doesn't total anything up. But there's also a really nice, another nice option, hide item costs. Okay, and I'm actually going to switch over to this sample right here. Where you can see I have task 1, task 2, task 3. I'm showing a group total, and then I have the line items down here. Now these prices are all grayed out, and it says on this little icon, this item cost will be hidden from recipients. If I click on the preview to see what they see, you can see they only see the group total and none of the individual details. So this is a great way to show things broken down by scope, but not by price. Maybe you don't want your customer to negotiate back and forth on some of the smaller details. All right, the last thing on here, you can also make it so that all line items are expanded by default. So if I click on this and I push refresh, you can see that now, and if I continue to push refresh, these are just always open for this particular group. So lots of nice features that can allow you to hit some really interesting use cases with advanced grouping. As I mentioned, this may or may not be turned on for your plan or your account. Your plan may well qualify for it, and we just don't have it turned on as we've been releasing this feature slowly. But if it's not turned on and you're not seeing, in particular, this add item group section and you'd like to play around with it, just send us an email and we'd be happy to either upgrade you or turn that on for your plan if you qualify. And that's advanced grouping.